Can you see my screen here?
Well, we can't
Not
see you
yet.
just yet, no.
Okay.
Can you see the share?
Hold on, please.
Yeah, I think you're almost
Yes,
there
I
now.
have. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Can you see it now?
Yeah,
Okay.
except we can't see your beautiful face, you know. That's okay.
Sad. I'm still going to try and connect with another device before we round up. I'm still just a network problem on the other device.
No problem. Let's fire away.
Good evening, everyone. You're all welcome. Sorry about the network issues. So happy to have all of you here. I'm super grateful to be invited by Mary. Mary, thank you for having me. And then tonight, this evening, we'll be talking about creating a productivity schedule for your family, your children. You know, so well, I'm just going to give a quick introduction. I think she's already introduced me, not to waste your time. I'm a certified project manager and coach, life coach, with expertise in life coaching and neuro-linguistic programming, LLP, NLP. I have helped over 50 families restructure their lives and homes through personal and business projects as they deploy work-life integration plan and structure at home and in their businesses. So my story started when I had a daughter and I had to juggle business, running a new business in Lagos, Nigeria, and having to cope with a live-out nanny. Most Nigerians in this country have live-in nannies, so they have full support, any time of the day. But I did not have that, so I started asking questions. How am I going to cope with all of this stress? I kind of let go of my body. I wasn't caring enough for myself because the business was already very hectic. And I had a child again. I have a nanny. I had workers in my company to run the business, but it was still very stressful without proper structure. Even with the structure, it was a lot of work. So I organized my first event to talk to other moms. I felt there was a need for mothers, for business women, career women to share their experiences. So I had the first Let's Chat Moms event in Lagos, Nigeria. We got a lot of support. A lot of people were so interested. We had support from the media, from This Day. They covered the event. They gave us 3 pages. We had Guardian. Everybody was really interested to hear what were women coping with when it comes to their career, their family life, and their businesses. So we talked about dealing with stress during the event. And from then on, I had another edition that was also very successful. We had the likes of Osaya Lile. We had people like Folusho Badamusi. We had different people who came to share their experiences as mothers. We talked about money, finance, everything you can think about. It was a very good event as well. And we got the support from the media as well. Then I said, okay, I went ahead and I started planning the 3rd edition. As I was planning the 3rd edition, I started thinking, I don't want people to just come for the event, go home and remain the same. I want people to go back home and live differently, live transformational lives. So I started thinking, what can I do that will change the way we took care of ourselves, the way we did our businesses, the way we handled our career. So I decided I was going to write a book, and that would give me a book, The Parent Organizer. So from there on, I started having a lot of different classes, and today we'll be talking about can you really, really create a schedule that is very, very effective. So why do you need a schedule? Of course, we all know why. We don't want to procrastinate. We don't want to do things, without planning. We don't want to be forgetful. That's very simple. Everybody knows why. We have to create a vision for ourselves. What kind of life do you want to live when you're 80 years old? How do you want to look when you're a grandma? How do you want your husband to look? How do you want your home to look like? What kind of lifestyle and legacy do you want to build for your children? So I started thinking about food. Food is also another kind of education. Do I want my daughter to think of rice and stew as the only food in the world? Or do I want her to know that there are different kinds of food? So I started trying different things to make sure that I was also educating her. So that's why I created a schedule. And, so I know that for scheduling, am I blocking? Let me put this down here. I don't know if I can close it. Yeah, better. Can you put? Okay, you don't even need to see me. So, types of routine. We have the morning routine, afternoon routine, bedtime routine, potty routine. Now, I'd like to say that it's not very easy, as an adult to create a new habit, but it's possible and it's doable. The reason why we're doing this is because we want to live better lives. It's not just about making money and just paying our bills. We want to be happy with ourselves. We want to be happy with the kind of lifestyle that we've created for our children or our loved ones or even our spouses, So now we have morning, afternoon, bedtime routine. And so areas of organization, for me, I think there are different areas. If you have children, even if you have older children, there's need for us to have fun. We need fun. Every one of us, we need to create time for fun. And for me, I create my joy. Living in Lagos, there's not too much activities in Lagos apart from Owambe and maybe seminars and conferences, because we who are in the business of public speaking, coaching, we get a lot of invitations. So most times we are working, even weekends. So I need to be intentional about how I unwind, how I relax, and how I take care of myself, so I don't look stressed up. So I plan my fun, even for the children. So when I plan my fun, I incorporate my daughter's time for fun. If I'm going to speak at an event, I ask questions about the environment I'm going to, and I find out if there are other safe areas where my daughter can take out time to play with the nanny while I'm working. Sometimes she follows me for some of my meetings. She can be in a play area where there's a play area. I choose venues that are conducive, so I'm able to manage both my daughter's time for play and my business time as well. Self-esteem and affirmations. These are areas that I would not say just for your children alone, it's also for you as a parent. Daily, we need to encourage ourselves. We need to create self-esteem, and we have to create an affirmation that encourages you as a person and as a person, as a parent, and also for your children. So my daughter has affirmations that I typed out and then put them out and laminated them for morning, for evening. You can have Monday to Sunday if you want. You can have different pages. So I have 5, and they're boldly written, very colorful, very exciting for her. Although sometimes she doesn't want to say them, but it's been amazing that most of the things she says, I see them happening in her life. So it's so powerful, because you're building her self-esteem from when she's very young, or even you as a parent. I have my affirmations as a parent as well. Health and wellness, these are areas of organization. You have passion, you have energy, you have social skills, you have hygiene. Even for adults, some of us find it difficult to network with other people. Some of us, we kind of are stuck with the same kind of friends for 10 years. We're not broken out of our regular circle. So for children as well, and for parents, I think we need to be intentional about how we develop our social skills. Like we all know that your network is your net worth. Hygiene, very important areas of organization. Relationship with same and opposite sex. We talk about nutrition, we talk about play dates, even before we add also age appropriate chores for the children, prayer time and affirmations, family bonding time, homeschooling, and homework support. Educating your nannies and teaching them the word of God as a Christian. If you're not a Christian, that's fine. For some of us, we take that as a huge responsibility to make sure that our kids also know the scriptures, even from an early age. So I'm going to share tips on all these topics that I've mentioned as we proceed. So it's not as hard as you think. It's a lot, but it's not as hard as you think. As you have a jotter there, you can write down the areas you want to develop, and I will share tips on areas or other areas that I've been able to overcome as well. So take a jotter as we go on. Write down areas you want to work on, areas that you want to develop yourself. I see a lot of people, and this is not. I'm going to digress. I've seen people who are maybe have a broken relationship with a spouse, and they never get to remarry, not because there is nobody out there, but because they don't prepare or plan for it. So I see every aspect of our lives as projects. I think like a project manager for every single area. I'm always thinking, if this doesn't work, there's another way I can do this in a better way. So there's another way to delegate this activity, pay for this service, find a way out of this particular problem. So that's what it's all about, making sure that you are creating an effective and productivity schedule for your family, for your children. So now areas that you're going to be scheduling in your day-to-day life is meal planning. You have a meal plan. I started out with a jotter, a very big jotter from Chevron. Someone gave us a hamper, and there was a Chevron jotter, a big, nice, beautiful red diary. I used the diary to write my daughter's meal, like Monday to Sunday, and breakfast, snack, everything. So we sit down, we have a meeting. I go online, I Google stuff about meals, look for healthy options. I make the waffle. Like today, the nanny made the waffles. I teach them everything. The pancakes, we don't use sugar, we use honey. All those things are very important, and it takes time, but it's good. It's worth it. If you don't want to do the meal plan, buy a meal plan from someone, or buy a nice book, a food recipe book outside. Family calendar can be areas that you want to achieve for the year. 2020, most people think is already gone. You might want to travel this year. You still want to buy something. You want to invest your money. So family calendar can be on Google Calendar, a reminder that reminds you, oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to get into this investment. This is what I need to speak to somebody in this area. So nanny training is very crucial. Even if from people who live abroad might not have nannies, But we will live in Nigeria. We have to work with nannies and we need to educate them. Back in the day, you just hire a nanny and they only clean and cook. But now the nannies now can read and write. The nannies, some of them are graduates. The nannies now, they need training. And my company also offers training to nannies as well, because we found that there was a need there and people asked for it, and I created a solution in that area. We have homeschooling. Homeschooling is what do your children do after school aside their normal assignment. So we have assignment from school, but we also have your own personal timetable for reading. The personal one can include entrepreneurship, can include leadership, can include history, can include coding, can include other things that the school might not be teaching your children, can include value system, how your children communicate in the home. And at different times, we're very busy people these days. Everyone is, I don't think I have hours booked for different activities that are good, and helpful to me. But I noticed that we don't have to spend 10 hours to teach our children. We can just be passing and seeing them do something that's not good and tell them, oh, I think we should do it this way. This is a better way to do it. Okay, let's get this app on the system, on the TV. The app helps you with homeschooling. So we have a math app. We have a lot of apps we use. We have a coding app. We have an offline coding app you download on your laptop, and the children can learn coding, practice it. And you can get the syllabus for coding online, so you can follow the syllabus to teach your children. For parenting, you have to have your value system, your planning, how you want your parenting style to be. And over, we must discuss these things. We must talk about what are my issues, where do I have challenges? Am I extreme in my expressions? Am I very, very aggressive? Is this the right way to speak to this person? Am I speaking to myself and my spouse and my children the right way? Because we must always review how we are living. We must always ask questions. We must examine our lives. We cannot continue to live the way we were living 20 years ago or 10 years ago, even yesterday. Even today, I've already planned another thing I'm going to do about my food, because I outsource my coaching for meals. I buy my menu for myself. And I also have a coach that comes to work out with me every morning. And wherever I'm not doing well, I try to find solutions on how to overcome that problem. I never stay stuck because I know that, it didn't go well. I never give up. So I keep looking for how I can make this thing work. So creating a meal plan is crucial. If you want to live long and you want to enjoy your life, it's something that we cannot negotiate. I started off buying a lot of food for my daughter, but later I said, no, I love myself too. So I buy chunk for her, a lot of different food. I buy my own as well. And now smoothie drinking is no longer a big deal, because I have different types of cups of smoothies in the fridge, and I take them as I need them, instead of going for fizzy drinks. I'm intentional about that. That is effective planning for your family and for yourself. So food planning takes time. It's very stressful sometimes. I won't lie to you. But what I do for this is I have up to 24 months of menu and food and recipes in a book. I've done up to 24 months now, roughly. That's a lot. That's like almost two years. Am I correct? I think 6 months, sorry. I have 6 months, I think 18 weeks or thereabouts. When I calculated I sent it out to the guy to type them out. I sent it to a cafe guy. I said, type this out for me. And he sent it back to me. And I saw it, I was screaming that this is the amount of menu plan I've done for months and weeks. And it has come up to almost 6 months. And I was like, wow, amazing. So it's something you cannot ignore. You cannot give that, you cannot outsource that. And you can enjoy your life by planning your meals, because food can also make you happy in a good way. If you plan the meals, if you don't plan, you eat anything you see. And when you eat anything you see, you're not very happy. It affects your mood, affects the way you see life, it affects your view. So I like to try different things every week. You can get a table like this on your Microsoft Word. There are many free tables on Microsoft Word you can use, and you can print these things out. You can laminate them. You can put them in a file. So you can have a file. When it comes to planning, have a file for affirmations for your children. So these are all your affirmations. You have your morning affirmation in that file. You print it out, laminate, so the children don't spoil it or tear it, and that doesn't get lost. That's another good one. Then this is also a good one. If you want to buy a plain jotter, or you can do a Microsoft document, an Excel document, plan your meals ahead of time. Find out new meals online that you want to try with your family. We can use new apps to try them. This is a snapshot from my book. I only have 1 page for each month for the food plan. So you can write your observations if you want to try out new meals for the month. Summary for this one is why should we create a meal plan? I said that already. The reason why you're creating a meal plan is because you deserve it, and that you want to have variety. You want to enjoy your life. You want to be intentional. You want to live a better life. You want to leave a good legacy for your children, a good legacy for your people around you, your people who look up to you, because food is also very important if we're going to talk about health or productivity. You have sample meal planner. You have sample food timetable on this particular the slide. We're moving on. The family calendar can look like this, but this is really rough. You can get I have some cards. I don't know. I'll show you. Maybe I'll send some pictures to Mary. I made some lovely cards. They're hard. They're not soft like this. This is a nice sample for a family calendar. But if you don't like this, if this looks dirty, you can do a better one and then put that on the wall. So having a family calendar is an important element of preparing a productivity schedule. Is the mother of scheduling, because every plan we intend to make as individuals or as a family must first be weighed against the availability of time on the family calendar. Quickly, we will look at why you should have a family calendar. So important as well. So sometimes you have weddings for the year, you have birthday parties that you didn't plan for. Sometimes unnecessary bills just pop up, but when you plan for them, you are super organized about how you want to achieve those things. I had a photo shoot last 2 weeks ago, and I planned for it for 3 months. I started preparing for it. I did the shopping, all of the projects, getting a good venue in Lagos, getting the nice, because we do project management, so it was very well organized and everything came together. We had a photo shoot and a video production. We shot over 6 different videos, 6 or 7 outfits change, a complete house crew. All of that was successfully done because we had planned everything from the beginning. So it's always good to plan for all the projects that you have, and it simplifies the planning process. For instance, you're able to identify your busy days. You can tell your husband or your partner to please pick up the child at this day. You're not going to be available. Of course, this is really basic. Everybody knows this one. Let me just move on. But the importance is it just helps you. There's no, and the kids also, they pick up from us. They see how we are super organized. And I'm very particular about hygiene, keeping the home clean. Because even if you're very organized and the house is not clean, it can be very discouraging. So there are apps you can use. You can use Google Calendar. You can use Evernote. You can use Trello. You can use Cozy Family Planner. You can download Cozy Family Planner. You can use Hub Family Organizer, and then Questodio. You can use Picnic. You can use Flake, made for your family. Flake, that's the pronunciation. So moving on. I hope I'm not too fast. I hope you guys are getting something. I hope it's worth your time. Okay, nobody can hear. Nobody can.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So we talked about the summary here in this particular one. We talked about your family calendar. We talked about the importance of a family calendar. Why is it important? The types of family calendar. I also mentioned different types. I also did not mention here that they are paperback. You can use the paperback version. Sorry about that. So we have apps. Apps are efficient reminders. They are very good. We have they're easy to carry around. They're on your phone. They may be difficult to use by your home staff. So that's why your nannies need the book. They need a book, a jotter. They can get my own book as well. That's a good one. No reminders, because you have to remind yourself. So I use both. I use the both. I use apps and I use my book as well. I write a lot. I have different books. I run a ministry as well. I mean, I'm an ordained minister. So I have to preach, I have to call, I have to invite people. So I need to be very super organized to run a business, family, ministry. That's like an NGO, because we do a lot of free trainings, reach out to streets, we go to communities, we go to villages in Lagos, we go to the prison sometimes, we go to orphanages. So all of that, if you don't plan those things on your calendar, it can be a whole lot. It can be a lot. This is my class. Last year I had a class with the nannies. People sent their nannies to us. We rented a whole beautiful apartment in Oniru in Lagos, because I like to make sure that, everything you do should be excellent. People should have an experience. So the nannies were so happy. They didn't want to go. There was an experience for them. They had food, they had everything. They had snacks, they had cooking classes, they had coaching, they had time management. This is a bank manager. She came to talk to them about time management. She's a wonderful sister of mine in the fellowship I attend in Lagos. So why do you need to educate your nanny? Because you don't want to be shouting every day and the house is very hot. You don't want conflict. Of course, some of them are not well exposed and they might be used to conflict, but because you are more educated, you have to approach your relationship with them with love, empathy, and professionalism, which always is not that easy, but you have to learn that. So nanny education has to do with instilling the right skills and competencies necessary for enjoying all the privileges and maximizing all the opportunities that come with having a nanny. So you need emotional intelligence, communication and patient security consciousness. I educate them on security and consciousness. My nannies, they know that. One of my nannies, there was a time they were fumigating the salon without telling us. She ran out to the baby to the gate and called me on the phone. And that's something, because some nannies just sit down, the mother, and as you know, they are not calling the baby come out, and they'll be there and something bad. So they must be prepared. They even need to learn about fire, what emergency in the home, so very important. Organization, planning, problem solving. Can they solve problems? Are they very creative? So you teach them that. Cooking and nutrition, how to cook your meals. How do I want it to fry? I got an air fryer recently. I think I was late to the party for that, because I used to grill a lot, but I just said, no, I don't want to grill again. Let me just use the air fryer. I air fry the chicken, the meat. It looks like I fried the meat. It looks so nice, and it's still very good. So home management, how do they manage your home? Sometimes they use your things, they waste your food, your freezer is dirty, your fridge is always dirty. I can't stand a dirty fridge. So every day I must clean my fridge. Every corner of the fridge must look clean. The bowls are clean. When I bring the bowls out of the fridge, I rinse the bowl. I put a little bit of water. The bowl is covered, so I rinse the bowl, use a tiny bit of rag, clean it and put it back. So the fridge must look neat for anybody opening it to get food. And you have to teach them all those little skills so that they can make your home pleasurable for you, and you're not going to be stressed. You have to reduce your stress level by any way possible, because that's what this is about, reducing your stress. This is also a story about a woman, Sandra, a nursing mom. After enrolling her nanny for training, this was her experience. Currently, our nanny has been with us for full time for 4 years. After 2 girls, age and 4, in building our relationship, there has been a lot of ups and downs, as any relationship we have in life. However, her role in our family is built on solid foundation. Part of creating the foundation was to empower her through nanny training. This is a nanny and her employer. So communication is so super important. How to avoid communication gaps. You have to establish clear expectations. Like you can, have a jotter in your home. You have a jotter, write down all those things, print them out on Microsoft Word, just staple them and give them to read. And my nannies have affirmations every morning. They have affirmations that encourages them so they don't look down on themselves. They see themselves as professional. They don't feel like they're nobody. They dress appropriately. Tell them about the dressing as well. But we have to be gentle. We have to be firm. We have to avoid any curse words. And we have to not encourage your children to be rude to your nannies or your relatives or your siblings or your spouse, because that's another thing we need to stop. We need to spread the word that don't encourage them to be rude to them, to take advantage of them, or to owe them salaries, or not to make them feel comfortable, to feel like they're nobody. That's wrong and not acceptable and not professional as well. So we need to spread the word on that as well. Next thing we're going to move on to, I'm rushing through the slides, sorry. So we also have a class, I said that already. In the class, they learn nutrition and recipe creation. In our class, they learn emotional intelligence, communication and teamwork, etiquette for nannies, emotional healing. It's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing, but what can you do? You have to make sure that they learn and they understand. Their dressing, how they dress, and everything. There are apps for nannies. Nanny Fix is also there. There are incentives. You have to think about that because they support you. If you're going to create an effective productivity schedule for your family, your nannies are also inclusive in all of this. Without the nanny support, it'll be a lot of work for you, except you live abroad and then there's a system how you manage all of this. The system there is different, and then some people even have au pairs abroad and they hire them as well. So homeschooling is critical if your kids are still young, and even when they're older. Even me, I'm still learning. I'm still paying for courses. I'm still going back to school again. I'm going back for another program, and my husband is also going back to school. So there's no time, even as old as we are, we have Udemy on the TV. We have masterclass on the TV. We paid for the entire masterclass classes. So we have, and masterclass, you learn all kinds of things. You learn about public speaking, you learn about plants, so different things, and educate yourself and your mind. So homeschooling isn't just for the children alone. It's also for us as adults, as grown-ups. We need to improve. If we're going to move to our next level, there's need for us to learn, something new. So homeschooling is so important for even us, the parents, not just the children, like I said earlier. So some expected beliefs about homeschooling is stressful. People are complaining. Moms are not been finding it funny. But you know what happened during the Corona period? It felt like I was living my normal life because I've been doing everything that is happening during the Corona, before Corona, because I never had a living, and my daughter has always been on a schedule, serious schedule from time memorial, even before this Corona period. So it just felt like I was just doing the regular. The only problem that she couldn't see her friends, she couldn't go to school, but everything was the same. Only thing I did was I created a new normal schedule for her, and I started selling it to moms. Moms were buying from me. I printed them, made them a template. So they buy the template and they use it at home. They buy the book and they buy the template. This is a sample picture of she and a nanny. And I educate the nannies how to teach. So the nannies have to know how to teach. There's a way to talk there's a way to pronounce, there are mannerisms, play, there are different kinds of teaching. There's also in the timetable where we call it Bible discussion time, where the child is able to read her affirmation cards, express herself, get up, tell me, what do you understand by this scripture? What do you understand by this particular? Can you tell me what you know? Because sometimes the kids just quote the scripture, they don't understand anything. So I'm going to run through. These are just samples. I'm not going to stay too long here. Methods of coaching your children for academic excellence. This is a snapshot from my book as well. It's called Tiger Stripes. My husband calls it Tiger Stripes. Anyways, so moving on. Summary for this particular, we talked about homeschooling and different types of homeschooling, benefits of homeschooling, right? How to homeschool your children and sample homeschool plan. Because I'm just rushing, I don't want to keep all of you. Parenting is major and it's a big thing because we don't have a manual for parenting, and we're all learning. And sometimes when we learn, we share with other people because we want all of us to succeed, because we're all going to meet each other one way or the other. Either your children marry another person's child that is your colleague from 10 years ago, or like I found out today that a lady who I used to mentor in America, she's married to someone else that I know as well in Nigeria, and it was a shock. I just saw it on Instagram that the name of the lady and my own friend is connected. They're related. And I said the world is so small. And I was just like, wow, it's always good to be good. It's good to have a good name. So even your nannies too, you never know who their children will become. They might be president tomorrow. So we should treat everyone in our space well. Though you meet terrible people, but still there must be a safe way to relate to people, even when they're not nice. So your parenting style refers to the combination of different strategies you use in training your children. Scientists have grouped these styles into 4. I will not stay too long here. I know all of you already know most of these things. There's authoritarian, there's permissive, there's uninvolved, there's authoritative. So different types. I think most people say they prefer to be authoritative. They recommend it as the most effective way of parenting, characterized by high and clear expectations, a lot of nurturing the child through life. Disciplinary actions are clearly stated with reasons for the disciplinary actions. I explained to them the communication line is also, is also open and frequent enough for the child to feel safe. I would say that if you don't heal as a parent, you'll never be able to overcome, because it will affect your parenting style. There's nothing you can do. If you don't heal from pain, even from the marriage, every day, sometimes you need to heal every day. Because if you say, oh, I'm healed now, you have to heal and mature so that you don't constantly expose yourself. It's not that easy, but you have to learn how to manage your emotions, because if not, you're going to pass down any kind of, if you're going to pass down certain emotions that you might not be proud of when you see that in the future in your children. So we all have the responsibility. It's not easy, but it's possible and it's achievable. We'll never give up. That's the whole idea. So there are tantrums that we experience as family parents. Sometimes we see them throw tantrums, identity issues, and when uncontrollable sibling rivalry, children who disobey, lying, aggressive and violent, complaining and whining, addicted to gadgets, timidity, poor eating habits, resistant to study. Like in particular about all of these areas, very important, even the eating habits, even the gadgets, we have a learning time on TV and we have a normal TV time. So my daughter said it's too far because it's 4 p.m. But the other time for TV is learning. So we have learning TV time, we have coding. So we have other things that she can do on the computer because of this new normal, and on TV because of the Corona period. So we have to create different schedule, but not all of them are fun TV time. There are some of them are work TV time, so that it's fun. So whatever schedule you're creating for your family, as you listen to me, please make it fun. And you don't want to create a goal that you're not excited about. You don't want to create a plan that, like me, I paid for a menu plan. It's a good one, but it was an intermittent fasting menu plan, and the timing was not stable. I like to wake up every day and know that, okay, you're only allowed to eat from 10 o'clock, or you're eating from 1 every day, and by 6 you stop. I like it like that because I'm very organized. But when I looked at the menu, they tell me eat by 10 today, tomorrow eat by 1. I did not like it. It did not work. So that's why I told the woman, I said, you know what, give me another one that is different and let the timetable be very straight. I will follow that kind of timetable because I know that I've been spoken to, and that's what I'm used to. If it's scattered today, 12 o'clock, tomorrow, 5 o'clock, tomorrow, stop eating by 3, that will not work because I already know myself. So you have to have self-awareness for you to be able to help your child also find their own identity. your children, your spouse must find their own identity and be comfortable in it. It's a problem because if there's no self-belief, self-confidence, there will be insecurity that leads to negative relationships, poor choices, people marrying the wrong people they're not supposed to marry because they never believed in themselves. They never knew they were better off staying alone than dating someone who wasn't good for them. And then I've seen parents being desperate, telling their children to marry someone because they feel that their children should marry anyhow because of time. Meanwhile, that person wasn't good for their children. So all of this can really affect a whole generation when we don't find ourselves. Even as grown-ups, we need to rediscover ourselves. Even now, even at this age, I'll be 40 just in a year or so. I need to rediscover who is now, not of 5 years ago, not of yesterday. Who is the new What's the new capable of? Is there any other area of that I've not discovered? And that's an assignment for every one of us on this particular Zoom class. Because if you don't do that, you will not be able to maximize your potentials, your skills, and you will not be able to affect other people positively around you. And the world, we want to determine who you become, not who God has called you to be. So that's why it's important. I cannot allow my child thrive if I've not found my own self. I'll be stopping her every time. Shut up, sit down here, look at you, because I'm trying to pass down insecurity to her, which is wrong. Sorry, I'm spending more time here. I like this topic a lot. So what's your child's unique identity? And even you as a parent, comparison and owning your identity, managing bullies. There are also adult bullies at work. There's politics at the office. There's politics in business. Sorry, early transference of bad emotions and behaviors. What is unique to you? How do you own it? Work and win with it. How to introduce yourself when you meet people. I might not go through all the topics because there's a lot. If Mary permits me, but I think so far we have covered. These are all sample pictures, so they're not so much. Maybe should I go on?
Thank you very much, I think we need to wrap it now, because we've got just 2 minutes to 6. Okay, but I mean, given what you have covered so far, honestly, I'm so impressed. And this is the reason I called you to come and do this presentation for us.
Thank you.
Because I realized you were doing training for nannies. And for me, I'm so passionate about improving the profile of blue-collar jobs. I've always advocated for that.
Yes,
so thank you for doing this for us. Let's open the floor to questions. The one thing I can say though, it's like your house is running on a military time.
It is. Like my daughter is upstairs now. She's about to sleep. She's doing affirmations right now.
You have a really thorough regime.
Time, yes, I'm like a soldier.
That is so far from how my life has been as a mother, I must confess. But I am quite organized. But
I know. Like that.
Nowhere near what you have done or what you're doing. Nowhere near at all. So do we want to unmute ourselves? Who's got a question? This is really amazing. I mean, for me, the one thing I'm taking away from this is the fact that we are beginning to see the value in training our domestic staff, if I can use that word, domestic workers. It's so important because, I mean, one of the things this COVID period has done is actually emphasize the importance of those key workers.
Yes.
How important they are in our lives and in society. So this gives me great joy. It gives me great joy. Any questions from our audience, please? From anyone here this evening, please? I'm going to, can you stop sharing your slides now?
Okay, I can stop. Okay, I can stop.
So we can see people's faces, maybe. Yeah. So any questions at all?
Okay, just one quick one. Do you only train female staff, household staff, I mean?
No, I don't. Actually, funny enough, my company does, we do life coaching, we do tailored training courses for organizations, funny enough. We just added the nanny thing last year when we had people asking us because of the book product. People said they wanted me to help them do the training for their workers. So actually, we work with organizations, we work with top executive. I'm a project manager. I do a lot of consulting services for people and organizations and even individuals, for entrepreneurs. But we added this service last year and people have been, patronizing us as well. So that's not all we do. Life coaching, tailored training courses for organizations, consulting services and project management. That's what we do as a company. LAPAC's Life Project. Thank you.
So what's the name of your book, Because unfortunately you can't show us a copy.
Organizer.
The Parent Organizer. Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay, The Parent Organizer by Nwogugu.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Any other question? Any question for who needs her services? Okay, I think that seems to be it. It's 1 minute past 7. I usually like to keep to time. So I think this is where we call it an evening. If nobody, if we don't have any more questions, is there something in the chat?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. The training is for all staff, not just for females. Okay.
Yes. So we have different trainings, not the nanny one for companies.
Okay.
Different training. Depends on what the client needs. Customer service. Okay. On different training. I do another training for companies as well. I've had many repeated customers as well.
Okay. So would you say that the people who are now working as nannies are mostly like, secondary school graduates? What's their level of education? Because you said something about them helping your children with, homeschooling and all of that. So the standard is really coming up.
Yes, it's coming up. No, not all families see the need. Some of them hire lesson teacher in that aspect. Okay. Some of them don't have nannies who can speak English. Some of them are from the village. So most people who see the need they go for nannies who can speak and write. And when they come in, as you teach them, their reading and writing improves greatly because it's a learning environment. They see you, they watch learning videos with you, they see you teaching, they watch you talk. A lot of times they follow me for my events. They sit inside the same venue where I'm going to speak to organizations. They might be there with the child, maybe in a big hall, in a hall with an event venue, so they're allowed to come in to sit outside with your child. So they learn a lot on the job. Most of them come and they start reading clearly, they start reading better. They are more confident. They can cook excellent meals, and it's like, wow. So that means it's just teaching that these people just need. They just need more teaching and education. And it surprises me a lot.
Absolutely. So it's a win-win situation. And, having them trained and being in that kind of environment means you're also developing them, which is absolutely awesome. Fantastic. Yes. So has posted a link if you're interested in the book or you want to give buy the book for someone who's just had a baby and is just starting their life as a parent. I think that can make a great gift. And yes, and you can also contact if you think you want to recommend her services to anyone. She's got it there in the chat. So thank you very much. And I will also post it in the group.
Thank you everyone for coming.
It's recorded, it will be posted in the group, and this information will be made available as well.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for
being
here.
Thank you, Mary, for having me.
My pleasure. And regardless of the technical challenges we have, you still stayed. So thank you very much.
I'm happy I just settled for the laptop. I mean, I would have just been waiting for that.
It was unfortunate we couldn't see your face, though.
I know.
But we got there in the end.
Let me see if I can sign in from my phone now. Maybe you guys will see me. Let me try the Zoom.
We got there in the end.
I know.
We got there in the end. So, any more questions at all? I think we're good. So, I think we're going to call it an evening now, okay?
Yeah, thank you everyone for coming.
For now. So, thank you very much, everybody. Yes. Have a good evening.
Thank you, I had fun. I'm buying your book.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you. I can see my face now.
Can you? Okay, there she is. There she is. There she is. Thank you. Bye-bye.